This exponent up here can come down here as a coefficient. Next week I'll show you why.
Oh.
So this becomes n times the logarithm base a of m.
Can we do times, like little times?
If you'd feel better, sure.
Isn't it implied because it's a variable, so variables are always multiplying when there's no sign mix?
Yes, the multiplication is implied.
Yeah.
Example of this is if I say,
Is this algebra 2 or trigonometry?
this is algebra 2, this isn't trig. So if I say the log base 5 of 12 cubed, for some reason I want to know the log base 5 of 12 cubed. This isn't one I'd expect you to know off the top of your head. I don't know.
It would be a decimal.
Yeah, it's going to be some hideous decimal, but I don't know what you would raise, what power you would raise 5 to get 12 times 12 times 12. But here's what I can do. I can take this 3 up here, and I can move it down here as a coefficient, and it's the same thing as 3 times log base 5 of 12. Okay? What is log base 5 of 12? I don't know. I've got some guesses, though. I can tell you it's between 1 and 2. Anyone have any idea how I know it's between 1 and 2?
I don't know what you're doing. I'm sorry.
Because
5 squared is 25.
Because,
Right?
wait.
What's
5
5
squared
to
is
the
25,
first?
and 5 to the first is 5.
5. And 5 to the second is 25, so it can't be any bigger than 2. It can't even be 2.
Right.
And it can't be 1.
Very good. So I know that this number is some decimal between 1 and 2, because Jordan, remember the logarithm is always an exponent? And I'm asking myself, 5 to the what power equals 12? Well, I know it's bigger than 1, because 5 to the first power is 5. I know it's less than 2, because 5 to the second power is 25. So I know this number is somewhere between 1 and 2. This is a lot simpler to deal with than log base 5 of 12 to the third. But luckily, if there's an exponent inside the logarithm, I can bring it down to the front. This is the really powerful thing. Monday I'll go into more
So
detail.
wait, how would you do the base, or in the calculator?
It's like you read my mind. It's exactly what I was going to go to, seriously. Okay, your calculator has 2 logarithm buttons on it. Neither one of which would help you solve this problem until I teach you a trick next week.
So that's not going to be on the homework, okay?
Well, what I'm about to show you is, but those tricks aren't yet. Then I'm going to go into more detail there. I like to plant that seed early, and then I'll give you more detail on it. If you just see log of a number, I'm going to call that number n. If all you see is log and you don't see anything here, the understood number is 10.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Okay, the understood number is 10. If you just see log, it's log base 10. So the question is 10 to what power equals this number? So if I just, for example, say log 100, and I don't give you a number here, what is understood to be happening there? What is the question, and what is the answer?
It's log base 10.
Of 100 equals 10.
It's log...
And that's why...
You guys keep slipping into multiplication. It is. Amanda, you're correct. It's log base 10
Oh,
of
2.
100.
But it's
2.
The answer is 2, correct, because 10 squared is 100. Okay? That's the easier button to deal with.
It doesn't really.
The other button that's on there that you might not even know is a logarithm
Where's the
button.
long button?
Wait, we have a
Oh,
log
okay.
On the side.
Yeah, and you notice the other function is 10 to the x on the same
So
button?
when it... Wait, how do you write it?
Here, just put log, and then hit 100, and then
How
enter.
do you do it with the base?
You don't. Your calculator only has a log button, so
I
it's
hit
just
10.
log base 10. Other bases we'll deal with next week, or they won't be in the homework. Your calculator homework tonight is just log base 10, and one other I have to show you real quick. Okay?
Wait, it's just log base 10 and then the number that...
That you want to find the logarithm of.
So...
So yeah, hit log on your calculator, and then hit
So what if
100.
it was like 60?
You'll get something between 1 and 2. It'll be some decimal, because...
1.7.
Good. Okay,
So
so...
you don't have to put... Like,
You don't have to
it
put
knows
base
that it's
10.
log 10.
Yes, it knows that it's log 10. In fact, that's all it knows except for this one other thing, which is natural log. It looks on your calculator like in... Most people write it as a cursive ln.
Log natural, natural
Oh, I
log.
got
Log
ln.
natural. And this is log base e. Okay, a
The
natural
same
log
E
is
we
log
do, or
base e.
is it...
Can you
2.718281828 ... The Andrew Jackson constant. He served 2 terms as the 7th president beginning in 1828. That's the same e.
Wait, would you put 100 too, and then I got 4.6?
For natural log?
You-
Okay, natural log you're not going to get any sensible answers for because this is an irrational decimal. Okay, raising that to a power just gets you more ugly decimals. So I can't give you a quick example. I can give you something like, well this is actually good. What is the natural log of e squared?
How do you do E?
How do you do e? There's an e button right above the division sign. Uh-huh.
It's 2.
It's 2. Let's talk about why.
Like, do you have to press the...
It's 2.
Yeah. Okay, yep. Now, guys, here's why it's 2 and you don't need your calculators for it. I just told you over there about something I call whooshing. See this 2 up here in the exponent spot?
We wished it.
I can bring it down to the front and make it 2 times the natural log of e. Now, e is an ugly decimal. I can rewrite this. Well, I'll move in a sec. Okay, there you go. Natural log
What?
means log base e of e. Now here I'm asking a lot of thinking from you here. E to the what power will get you e?
1.
1. The logarithm is always a question. The answer is an exponent.
Log E.
So log base e of e is 1. So this is 2 times 1, or just 2. Okay, so the natural log of e squared is one you can solve without a calculator.
Why is it of e? Where does the of e come from?
A logarithm is always of a number. This statement.
Oh, okay. So you just threw it in there because it would be
Because
simple.
it's the only one. These are the only ones I know how to do without a calculator.
Okay.
What is the natural log of 100? As I think Nimi just put in. I don't know. This is asking me what's 2.71828 to what power gets me 100.
It was
I don't know
1.7
off the top of my head.
something.
That sounds about right. 4.6? That sounds about right. See, your calculator can tell you that. I don't know it off the top of my head. Most of these logarithms, unless there's something like 10 to the what power equals 100, or 4 to the what power equals 64, most of these you're going to need your calculator for, and your calculator can only do 2 bases, so next week we'll have to learn some tricks for that.
Is there homework?
No.
Yeah, but let me see where I stopped. Before I...
That's okay.
Hang on. 46, number 46. What else do you have to know?
Are you playing the Algebra?
Okay, are we done with the camera?
Let me write the homework online. Okay,
Okay.
so it's page 490.
Hey, we don't have any homework.
Any short-term memory, that'd be dangerous. 16 to 46 even.
So that's like 10? No, it's more than that.
That's more than that. But the last 1, 2, 3, the last 6 of them are just using your calculator. And all of those are either base 10 or natural log. Before that, you're supposed to evaluate without a calculator.
How are you supposed to do that?
Well, for one thing, the bases are different. Here's the deal. Let me explain that a little bit. You can use your calculator for those problems to double-check the roots. Okay? Yes. You can use your calculator to double-check things. Like, if I ask you, same one I asked a few minutes ago, log base 4 of 64. You might not know off the top of your head that 4 cubed is 64. So if you have to use your calculator to test a few points, to see what 4 squared is, 4 cubed is, 4 to the 4th is.
But don't actually type that into the calculator.
Yeah, you can't.
That's what
You
you're
don't have a way to. You don't have a way to. It's base 4. Your calculator can only do base 10 and base e. So you don't have any way to do this.
What's wrong with those programmers? Why didn't they?
There's a trick I'll show you next week.
Okay.
Your calculator can tell you this, but not directly.
Okay.
And I'll also tell you a little more next week about why that's such a hard thing to program into a calculator.
And show us
Okay.
now.
Can I borrow?
That's okay. All right. Go ahead and kill it.